Good afternoon, everyone, and I'd like to welcome you to our County Commission meeting, January 24th, 2023. It is 1 minute past 3 o'clock, and we would like to begin. We are blessed today to have Pastor Quincy Griffin to do our invocation. I will call on Commissioner Caban to please introduce Pastor Griffin.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm pleased to introduce my personal friend, Pastor Quincy Griffin, to do today's invocation. Quincy is the pastor of Family Worship and Praise Center, which is a church that I attend frequently. It's in my district off Lake Bradford Road. And I chose him to do my first invocation due to the personal relationship and the friendship that I've built with him over the last 6 months. Too often when we talk about the campaign trail, we talk about the negative sides of campaigning. But one of the best things I had during campaigning was the people I've met. And Pastor Griffin, you are one of those people that I was very pleased to meet. And I'm looking forward to a long-term friendship with you. So thank you for coming here today to do our invocation.
And thanks for having me. To all the commissioners who are here, who are present, and everyone who is gathered here today, let us pray. Father, we first just give your name praise, honor, and glory for the opportunity to still be alive here in 2023. And Lord, we thank you for all the blessings, the many blessings that you have in store to bless this city, to bless this region. Your word said that you have come to give life and to give life more abundantly. So we're asking for the abundance of all of your blessings to bless the city, the north side, the south side, the east and the west with the best that heaven has to offer. And God, I'm asking you as well to bless each commissioner. Lord, they have an assignment, they have a role, they have a responsibility, but whatever they are called to do, they cannot do it without you. So Lord, I'm asking you to give them wisdom beyond their years, knowledge and understanding, but most of all, give them love to be able to decide and make plans for your people, because love conquers everything. We thank you now, and we pray that, Lord, that you protect them, no hurt, harm, danger, sickness, or disease. Let those things never come nigh their dwelling. Give them joy, happiness, and peace. And most of all, again, bless this region, bless this city, bless Leon County. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Let everyone say amen. 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 Thanks again.
Thank you, Pastor Griffin. Now, Commissioner Caban will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Caban, for your participation in leading us in the pledge. And Reverend Griffin, we certainly appreciate that very appropriate invocation. Now, on our agenda, we have award presentations. I believe I see Elder Bernie in the audience. We have a proclamation recognizing Human Trafficking Awareness Month, a proclamation recognizing January 22nd to 28th as the National Certified Registered Nurse Anesthesiast Week, a proclamation recognizing Duke Energy in that order. And so we will start with the proclamation recognizing Elder Chris Burney. I was waiting for a chairperson to walk in, Elder Burney. So let me, okay, I believe the proclamations might be coming. Elder Bernie, if you will join me at the podium. And of course, I'm not the chairperson. I'm the co-chairperson, but I would like to present this proclamation to you, Elder Bernie. And it reads, whereas Reverend Dr. Chris A. Bernie, a native of Central Florida, has been an avid preacher and teacher of the gospel since the age of 10 years old. And whereas Dr. Bernie is currently the senior pastor of the Greater St. Mark Primitive Baptist Church in Tallahassee, Florida, having pastored in 2 other churches, Greater Mount Trial Primitive Baptist Church in South Chapel, Florida, and Antioch Church of Christ, written in heaven, Tallahassee, since his ordination in 1993. And whereas since his tenure at Greater St. Mark, Dr. Bernie has spearheaded the Brotherhood Ministry, an after-school tutoring program for school-age children, as well as college students. He is also one of the founding members of the Habitat for Humanity and Refuge House in Wakulla County, which helps abused women and children. And whereas Dr. Bernie is currently serving as the 17th presiding moderator of the Old West Florida Primitive Baptist Association, which comprises over 3,000 members, serves as the chairman of the Moderators Council of the National Primitive Baptist Convention, has served as the chairman of the Florida State's Primitive Baptist Board of Evangelism and Foreign Mission, and has also served the Old West Florida Primitive Baptist Association in the following capacities: as vice president of the Church School Convention, Board of Examiners, a member of the Executive Board, vice president of the Elders Council, and served over 10 years as Bible expositor. And whereas Dr. Bernie has been honored by the city of Tallahassee for his pastoral leadership in the city of Tallahassee and the surrounding area. Further, he has been recognized by Leon County Schools, District 3, with an award named in his honor, the Elder Dr. Chris A. Bernie Award, which will be awarded each year to a deserving church or pastor who serves the county schools and students. And whereas after serving as the second vice president of Florida State Primitive Baptist Convention, Dr. Elder Bernie was chosen as the new president. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Leon County that Dr. Chris A. Bernie be recognized and honored for his election as president of the Florida State Primitive Baptist Convention and for his spiritual leadership in the Tallahassee-Leon County community. Dated this 24th day of January, 2023, is signed by our chairperson, Nick Maddox, all the commissioners, and attested to by our county administrator, Mr. Vincent S. Long. Congratulations, Dr. Bernie.
Thank you so much.
Would you like to say something? Would you like to say something?
I would like to say thank you so very much to Commissioner Maddox and the DS today. I consider it an honor to be here today, and it's my prayer that I would represent Leon County, my church, my family well. Please keep me lifted up in your prayers. Thanks again. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
We'll take a picture. Let me present it to you, Uncle Rocky. So you put your hand on one time. It's your pass.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Commissioner Cummings, Madam Chair. if Dr. Burney would allow for, I think Reverend Farrell was attempting to get in one of those photos, and I kind of wanted some too. If you would give us 2 minutes to get that photo. Reverend Farrell, if you were trying to get up there. Thank y'all. Thank you, Bill. Congratulations, man. All right.
See, this guy came all the way up that hill to be here. He came all the way up the hill.
Making a difference. Reverend Farrell. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you, man.
Let the chamber say amen. Our next proclamation comes to who we're calling upon. This is, who is this one for? This is some teeny weeny.
Human Trafficking Awareness Month.
Okay, is it 21? Is there someone in the chamber to receive the Human Trafficking Awareness Month? Please come forward. Apologize.
Okay. Can you read it? It's kind of small. You okay?
Hi, I'm Bill Proctor. Good to see you. Thank you for being here tonight. Ms. Robin Thompson is here on behalf of this august body who's bringing awareness about human trafficking, and we thank you, Ms. Thompson. Our proclamation from the Board of County Commission, whereas human trafficking is both a crime and a human rights abuse, where sex and labor traffickers deceive and exploit children and adults of all ages for labor or sexual servitude. And whereas human trafficking is a $150 billion a year global criminal enterprise, human traffickers take advantage of crises like the pandemic and natural disasters by exploiting those harmed and those that are economically insecure. And whereas human traffickers target people who suffer from existing inequities and inequalities and seek out vulnerable communities, including children and youth, persons of color, the LGBTQ plus population, homeless and displaced individuals, disabled persons, people with substance abuse disorders, immigrants, and individuals who have financial hardships using force, fraud, and coercion to entrap them in human trafficking situations. And whereas the National Human Trafficking Hotline ranks Florida as third in the number of calls reported to the hotline, more community education and action is crucial to eradicating human trafficking in our community, state, and nation. Whereas both sex and labor trafficking are present in Leon County, and it is important for the community to work together to increase our focus and awareness of both of these forms of human trafficking. And whereas Leon County has taken active steps to prevent and eradicate human trafficking, including adopting an anti-human trafficking certification requiring that all who contract with Leon County must guarantee that the goods and services they provide with taxpayer funds are trafficking-free. And whereas in recognition that the business community and workplaces throughout the county play a pivotal role in preventing human trafficking, identifying possible human trafficking situations, supporting survivors, and helping to bring human traffickers to justice, Leon County funded the Survive and Thrive Advocacy Center to create and promote Stack Pro, an educational program for all Leon County workplaces and businesses on how to recognize and respond to human trafficking. Over 320 individuals and 150 businesses have completed the course. Ms. Thompson, I say to you that there are 5 more clauses that recognize, and for the reasons of which have well been articulated, we say to you that therefore the Board of County Commissioners of Leon County, Florida, proclaim January 2023 to be Slavery and Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and further recognizes the Survive and Thrive Advocacy Center, the Big Men Coalition Against Human Trafficking, and the many agencies, businesses, individuals, faith communities, and others for their roles in building awareness and taking action in the local community to end both labor and sex trafficking and in supporting survivors. Henceforth, we will work together to ensure that all those who are vulnerable will be aided and that those within the county and throughout the community will work diligently to end human trafficking in the region. Dated this 24th day of January 2023, signed by all 7 county commissioners and attested to by our county administrator, Mr. Vince Long.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Commissioner Proctor and commissioners. I am Robin Thompson. As Commissioner Proctor said, I'm the Executive Director of STAC, the Survive and Thrive Advocacy Center. We are here in Leon County to do 3 things. We are a direct service provider to survivors of all ages and walks of life who are trafficked or who are at risk of sex or labor trafficking. We serve as a hub agency to connect people so that those who are trafficked, who might be a toddler all the way up to an 80-year-old man from India, skilled welders have been trafficked, that the services that that person needs are addressed in our community and in our nation. And we also serve as a community educator. I'll say thank you very much for the words of the proclamation. You outlined a lot of the work we do providing direct services and also providing assistance and education throughout the community. I'd also like to thank you because proclamations mean a lot. Sometimes people think they're pro forma, but they're not. Every time we get together and have this moment, and I just have to express our gratitude for you raising this issue, because human trafficking is clearly a community problem. It's not just a law enforcement problem. It's not just an economic problem. It's not just a public health problem. It's a societal issue that every single one of us has a role in addressing. So with that, I know you've got a lot on your agenda today. I also want to say thank you, because without you, without the county, we would not have started the STAC Pro program. Administrator Long, you were instrumental as well. And most, I have to really call out and thank Commissioner Minor, because you have helped spearhead it. You raised this issue with your North Monroe Corridor Task Force that Susan Poplin has been part of, and Shinkton and county staff has been amazing. So let me just say thank you to you all and for all of your efforts. And this will do our best, not just in January, but all 12 months of the year to make you proud. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I apologize for my tardiness. My car didn't want to act right today. Well, I'm here. Thank you, Vice Chair Cummings, for taking things for me. I also didn't want to read all these proclamations, so it was a plus too. So up next, since you already got it down there, Commissioner Cummings will provide a proclamation recognizing January 22nd through the 28th, 2023 as the National Certified Registered Nurse Anesthesia Week.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is there a representative for the Certified Nurse Anesthetist Month? If so, please come forward. Thank you so much. This proclamation from the board, the Leon County Board of Commissioners, reads as follows. Whereas Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist, an acronym is CRNA, are advanced practice registered nurses who have continued to provide anesthesia care to patients in the United States for more than 150 years. CRNAs are among the nation's most trusted professionals, and whereas legislation passed by Congress in 1986 made nurse anesthetists the first nursing specialty to be accorded direct reimbursement rights by Medicare. And whereas CRNAs are the primary anesthesia providers in rural communities and continue to be the primary providers of anesthesia care to U.S. military personnel, and whereas CRNAs practice in every setting in which anesthesia is delivered, from traditional hospital surgical suites and obstetrical delivery rooms to critical access hospitals, from ambulatory surgical centers to the offices of dentists, podiatrists, ophthalmologists, pain management specialists, and more. And whereas CRNAs are qualified to make independent judgments regarding all aspects of anesthesia care based on their education, training, and licensure. And whereas CRNAs are trusted anesthesia experts on the front lines, caring for patients, safety, and compassionately delivering specialized, cost-effective care to all patients, from newborns to seniors, for every type of procedure in all types of facilities. And whereas CRNAs have courageously served on the front lines of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, using their advanced skills in airway management, intubulation, and ventilator management to care for the sickest patients. And whereas the period of January 22nd through 28, 2023 has been designated as National CRNA Week, now therefore, I, Chairman Nick Maddox, by the authority vested in me as Chairman of the Board of Leon County Commissioners, do hereby recognize the week of January 22nd through the 28th, 2023 as National Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist Week in Leon County, Florida, dated this 24th day of January 2023, and it's attested to by a chairperson, signed by a chairperson, and attested to by a county administrator, Mr. Vincent S. Long. So I present this to you all. Does anybody like to say anything?
Commissioner Cummings, thank you. Commissioner Maddox, thank you. There are approximately 5,400 nurse anesthetists in the state of Florida, 60,000 nationwide. There's probably 60 or 70 of us here in Leon County. It is an honor to represent those people. I do appreciate this proclamation. I thank you for your time.
They want a picture of everybody over here.
All right, while they're taking that picture, next up I have Commissioner Caban, proclamation recognizing Duke Energy. Commissioner Caban, you have the floor.
Whereas the Fort Braden Community Center property, which includes a heritage live oak tree along Florida Highway 20 that has great historical and aesthetic significance for the Fort Braden community, was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1994. And whereas Duke Energy recently initiated a project to rebuild transmission line segments in areas including the Fort Braden community for the purpose of enhancing the reliability and storm resilience of its electric utility service. And whereas Duke Energy owns power line easements in the Fort Braden area, including one such easement in which the Fort Braden Heritage Oak Tree is located. And whereas initial engineering plans for the project called for the removal of the Fort Braden Heritage Oak Tree, And whereas although Duke Energy asserted its legal authority to remove the Fort Braden heritage oak tree, Duke Energy worked collaboratively and in good faith with the county to identify a project alternative that does not involve removing the Fort Braden heritage oak tree. And whereas, moreover, Duke Energy has committed to planting approximately 40 new trees along the newly unveiled Fort Braden History Walk, which connects the Jane G. Sauls Fort Braden Library and the Fort Braden Community Center and highlights the history of Fort Braden. And whereas, Duke Energy has also committed to making an additional donation towards the lighting of the Fort Braden History Walk, which will further facilitate residents' safe use of this community amenity. Now therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Leon County, Florida, that we honor and express our gratitude to Duke Energy for its collaboration, responsiveness, and willingness to identify an alternative solution that preserves the historic Fort Braden oak tree, and furthermore for its generosity in making additional charitable donations towards the improvement of the Fort Braden Community Center property. Dated this 24th day of January, 2023, on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners in Leon County, Florida, and our County Administrator, Vince Long. Thank you so much.
Just want to say thank you to the commission. In particular, I want to thank your staff. Vince and Alan were instrumental in communicating with Duke Energy on the interests of the Fort Braden community. We had a plan. We had to change that plan, and we're glad we did. And I thank you for your patience as we worked on an engineering solution that allowed us to upgrade our facilities and also preserve this historic oak. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
And for those who don't know, this Fort Braden heritage oak tree is a big deal to our Fort Braden community.
Yes,
So we really appreciate it.
We hadn't heard.
All right, while we take that photo, next, acceptance of $100,000 donation from the Friends of the Library. Ms. Lisa Harvey, you come up, please present that check.
Mr. Chairman, you're going to receive that $100,000?
You know, you being the senior statesman, I'd like for you to go down there and do that for us.
This is an honor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd love to.
Please, give us a few comments.
It gives me great pleasure to be here today. A long time ago, my very first job in this community when I was 16 years old was working at the Leon County Public Library way back when it was on Monroe Street. The mission of the Friends of the Library is to raise funds for the Leroy Collins Leon County Public Library System. And it is with great pleasure that we award this check. We have raised this money through various fundraising activities, through donations from the community, through membership dues to the Friends Group, through sales of our used books that are donated from the community. So the community has a great responsibility in this check that we are presenting today. And we'd also like to thank Pamela Monroe, Library Director, who is just a pleasure to work with. And we are very appreciative for all the support that we get from the community and the commission and the county. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The chairman has allowed me to come down in the pit. So I expect he anticipates that I say that Mrs. Harvey, on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, our librarian, and our community, the Friends of the Leon County Library, have done extraordinary work over the years. And your vision, y'all's constant support has empowered the library to fulfill its mission with greater clarity and velocity. For your steadfast commitment and keeping your hands to the back of this important entity, we thank y'all, and on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, we express that to you all and ask your continued support, if you would.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mr. Immediate Past Chair, I couldn't have said it better myself. That was awesome. Thank you so much. You know, we heard a great presentation from Ms. Monroe yesterday about what our library services are doing. What I can tell you, Ms. Harvey, is that money is going to be well used with all of the community asset that our libraries have become. We venture far outside what you think when you think of a library. We're not just loaning out books. We are actively trying to get involved in people's lives and help improve their lives. So, Ms. Monroe, thank you so much for everything you do for our libraries. But, Ms. Harvey, that $100,000 check means a lot to Leon County and our libraries. Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Administrator, I don't believe we have any more Yes, we do. We got one more presentation from 211 Big Bend.
Good afternoon. My name is Tori Greer. I'm the president and CEO of 211 Big Bend in Tallahassee. I want to thank you for the opportunity to come speak with you today about 211. And I also want to thank Commissioner Minor for the invitation and for being such a great supporter of our services. And Commissioner Welch, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow afternoon. So just a little bit about 211 Big Bend. We are the region's 24/7 support line. We provide crisis intervention, suicide prevention services, mental health and basic needs referrals to 8 counties in the Big Bend, including Leon County. So we serve as kind of a central access point for connecting people with health and human services. That could include food, child care assistance, mental health, as I mentioned. And often when people find themselves in a financial or mental health crisis, they don't know where to turn, and they may not know what resources are available. And that's really where we come in and are able to help provide guidance. And like I said, we have a comprehensive human service database of health and human services in this community, and we've been in this community for over 50 years. We also answer the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, which was formerly known as the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. And that's a toll-free number that you'll often see publicized, encouraging people to call if you're in a suicide or mental health crisis. A lot of people don't realize that it's actually 211 Big Bend here in Tallahassee that are answering those calls for the 8-county Big Bend, as well as additional 6 counties to the west of us. And just some key points about our services. Calls, texts, and chats are confidential. Callers can remain anonymous so they feel safe to discuss sensitive problems. And counselors are well-trained in active listening skills, techniques, and they can assess a caller's needs, including underlying needs, which often may include mental health and other types of financial concerns. Just as an example, last year alone, our hotline counselors de-escalated 92% of high-risk suicide calls to Lifeline and 211 in this area. So that just shows how impactful our services can be and how a call to 211 can actually save a life. We also have a key role to play in emergencies. We're highly promoted actually by the county and the city and by FEMA. During Hurricane Michael, as an example, our call volume tripled. People reach out to us when they need information about where to go, what to do if their power went out and they lost a refrigerator full of food. And so we're often a resources that you can refer your constituents in your community to, especially in times of disaster, including during the pandemic when we actually staffed up to meet an increased demand and calls for food assistance, mental health, counseling, those sorts of needs. We answer over 2,000 calls, texts, and chats each month, and that's across our 211 and 988 lines. And we conduct over 300 follow-up calls with members in this community. We document over 27,000 needs. So we have multiple categories, housing, rent payment assistance, healthcare, transportation. We're able to collect demographic data, zip codes, all of that information, which can help inform decisions. There's a vast amount of information that we collect that can serve as kind of a barometer for how the health of the community. As I mentioned, we focus on helping people with resources, connecting with mental health services, and we also have other programs within our 211 umbrella that help support early identification of children at risk for development or behavioral concerns. We have veterans on staff that provide peer support to veteran callers in our community. We provide a Lyft Ride United program where we can actually dispatch a free Lyft ride to people who call us and who may need to get connected to a healthcare appointment, as an example. We partnered with Second Harvest of the Big Bend during the pandemic to complete over 10,000 supplemental food deliveries through a program we launched with DoorDash. And not many people know that, but that's how we work, to try to eliminate barriers to getting people connected to services they need. Something you can use right now, you can use 211counts.org. You can go on your phone or your tablet, and you'll be able to see what people are calling about in your district, in your zip code. I've pulled up just kind of the last year what people are calling about in this community. And obviously you can see the top need is and has always been housing and shelter, with rent assistance and affordable housing being top needs. But we've seen that steadily increase since over the past few months. You can also drill down to see, like I said, a zip code or your district. I pulled up my district, an area within District 5, and I could see that a lot of people are calling because they need food assistance. So that's what you're able to see. This is the past 30 days. I can see that a lot of people are in need of food assistance. I can see the trends as well, and that's all information that's available to you through 211counts.org. And that's all of our data that's going into that system. The last thing I'll say is that I've had a lot of great conversations with county staff, city staff, our United Way of the Big Bend, Children's Services Council of Leon County staff about how we better track and document needs and outcomes in this community, and how, when we're all using different systems and technology, we might be able to bring all of that together within an integrated system. And I will just say I look forward to continuing to have those discussions with the county. There's a lot of great 211-led initiatives across the country and in Florida where we're able to kind of integrate systems so we can see all of that information in one place. So how to refer to 211? Call 211 or 850-617-6333. You can text us at 898-211. You can go to our website and pull up our searchable directory, and you can look through all of the resources. If you have questions, of course, you can reach out to us. We have a dedicated team of resource specialists that update all of that information in accordance with standards. We're accredited through AIRS, so we do abide by quality standards there. And of course, like I said, you can chat with us on the web at our website, 211bigbend.org. So I want to appreciate your time today. I just want to make sure that everyone is aware of this information. And if you haven't heard from me already, I would love for you to come visit us and come meet with our counselors and hear the stories, what they're hearing on our lines, which is really important and can offer a glimpse into a lot of the needs that we're seeing in our community and potential solutions. So, thank you. Are there any questions?
Any questions?
Yeah.
Commissioner Minor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Greer, excellent presentation. Thank you very much. When I worked at Second Harvest, it was impressed upon me how important a resource 211 Big Bend is. So many people out there, when they need help, they don't know where to go, and they don't know who to call. And 211 Big Bend can help connect them to Second Harvest and any number of other agencies in town to get them the help that they need. So thank you for everything that you do. I had not toured your facility before a few weeks ago, and actually see that and meet the counselors and meet your staff was really informative. So thank you very much. And then if you remember, during our meeting, the 211counts.org resource was just incredible. That helps us actually see the people that we serve calling into 211 Big Bend with specific needs, whether it's food insecurity, affordable housing, medical needs, that type of thing. We can see the trend data. So during the pandemic, we would have been able to actually see what particular needs during the pandemic was creating amongst our constituents, which is, I think, incredibly valuable. And it's a resource that our office in District 3 is going to be going to many times. So thank you very much. I really appreciate everything you do. Please convey to your staff how grateful we are for all the work that you do.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Keefe.
President Greer, thank you. I just have one question. Are you looking for volunteers? And if you are, where do people go to volunteer?
That's a great question. And yes, we are right in the middle of volunteer recruitment right now. And you could go to our website and there's actually a link where you can sign up. We've got some informational sessions coming up as well. It's a comprehensive training, wonderful experience, and often leads to paid positions as well. So that's something to keep in mind if you decide, you want to move into something more. So thank you. That's a great question.
All right. Anybody else? Yes, Commissioner Welch and then Commissioner Proctor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Greer, I'm looking forward to coming and visiting tomorrow. And Commissioner Minor, thank you for asking for this presentation. I'm a big supporter of 211. I've donated to the organization before I was elected and have had friends that served on the board. Ran into Mr. Nicholas and his wife the other night at an event, your predecessor.
Yeah.
So looking forward to meeting with you guys tomorrow. I did not know about the 211counts.org website. I did not see any of my zip codes on the list of the most calls. So I'm interested to see and take a look at that and see what the needs are in my district. So looking forward to that. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Commissioner Proctor?
I concur with my colleagues. I wanted to ask a question. Is there anything prohibited in the county placing the 211 services and this information on our station that the public might have a wider access point of knowing exactly what numbers and what responses that 211 takes on?
Mr. Administrator?
No, we'd be happy to do that.
Okay. I'd like to encourage commissioners of your support if we could program that into our public announcement section.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll get that done. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Administrator, do we have any citizens to be heard on agenda items?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, we have just one speaker to be heard under citizens to be heard on non-agenda items. On agenda item number 9, Stanley Sims.
Mr. Sims, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
Name
and address for the record, please.
I'm at 1320 Avondale Way.
Thanks, sir.
And I wasn't sure, Mr. Administrator, if you were going to call first, so I did number 9 as a factor to kind of get in here because today is my grandmother's birthday. She's no longer with me physically, but she raised me, and she would always say this, Mr. Chairman. It's easy to love people that love you back, but it takes God to love people that don't love you. And every year I do my own private assessment of municipalities right here in Tallahassee. And this year I struggled to find one person that I could give my award to. I even had to consider newcomers, Mr. David O'Keefe, who I didn't see the hidden jewel in him, but watch how he came upon this board and interacted. I didn't see that coming, and I'm pretty smart and sharp. I look at Mr. County Commissioner Caban, who dealt with a situation that was at the heartbeat of his district. And then not only that, Mr. Administrator, he continued to deal with me. And then I thought about the new chairman, Mr. Nick Maddox, and our moment on that bridge, on that terrace. And maybe this is not, I promise I wasn't, this was between us, but those moments were so profound. So you were on the list. And then my wife, Madam Vice Chair, was standing in for me to a community meeting that Mr. Shington was doing. And my wife is very reserved, you know that. And for her to come home and to report back. But then I watched the budget retreat. And I watched how it was laid out. And then, Commissioner Proctor, I knew why county administrators all over this land recognize Vince Long as the #1 administrator in the country. And why do I say that? Because at that retreat, he brought his valuable community stakeholders to the table for you to talk directly and not be filtered by staff. I used to, first time I met Vice Chair, and I'm going because I know I'm over, and I appreciate this.
Thanks, sir.
But this is very important because this is the real reason why I fight every day, because I recognize good government. Ms. Chastity, because of ethics, I can't give anything. But my word of support, Mr. Vince Long, thank you to all of you in your respectable places, but also this year, as honorable mention for staff, I'd like to award Mr. Shington, I never say his name right, and I ain't the only person, but he is also worthy and deserving of such my recognition. Thank you for.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. Let me say, with all the heart I have in me, Merry birthday. Happy birthday to your grandmother. Happy heavenly birthday to your grandmother. And if I must say, you made the right choice when you chose who to give your awards to our administrator and to Shington Lamy from staff. Because we just merely up here make policy, but they do the hard work to give us the information and lead our organization in the way that they do. So thank you for your kind words for all of us. But thank you for the kind words you bestowed upon Leon County and the way we do business here. Thank you, sir. All right. Consent. Is there anything pulled from consent?
We have no items pulled from consent, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a motion to approve consent? Motion made by Commissioner Welch. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Minor. Any objection? Seeing none, show it as passed unanimously. We'll move now to item number 19. Mr. Administrator, can you give us an introduction?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, item number 19 is an item that was requested by the board on school bus stop lighting, and I'll give you just a quick overview. Our county street lighting program, we include an overview of our program, and we provide to policy alternatives for your consideration should the board wish to install streetlights or help facilitate the installation of streetlights at bus stop locations in the unincorporated area of the county, school bus stop locations in the unincorporated area of Leon County. Commissioners, the county's existing streetlight program is designed to enhance traffic safety on roads and intersections where it's needed the most. The policy restricts lighting to within the USA, And our current policy does not currently provide streetlights at bus stops. As detailed in the item, we can go into more in depth on this. Florida counties, like us, do not provide or fund, for the most part, streetlights at bus stops. Just not historically been a role of county government. Typically, streetlights, and there's a reason for that. Typically, streetlights are provided by cities, HOAs, or dedicated property tax assessments that are assessed against the properties receiving the benefit of those services. If the board would like to further evaluate placing streetlights at bus stops, the agenda item before you provides 3 approaches for your consideration. The first would be to provide streetlights at bus stops for the entire unincorporated area through a municipal services taxing unit. The second would be to allow neighborhoods to request that the county create a municipal services benefit unit for the purpose of providing streetlights for a specific neighborhood. And finally, the option that's there for your consideration is to modify our existing policy to allow and prioritize requests for streetlights at school bus stops to be funded through the county's annual budget process. Again, this is kind of a two-stepper, commissioners, in the way, because we realize you're receiving all this analysis for the first time. So the way we've outlined this was to suggest that if you were interested in this and you wanted to narrow those alternatives for us to continue to take a look at, if that was something you wanted to do further, then we would bring back a budget discussion item on any or all of those options that we've provided to you today. Alternatively, the board may wish to accept the report and take no further action, which is option 1. And we are seeking board direction on this item. And commissioners, I have 1 speaker on this item.
Speaker, please, sir.
The speaker is Jennifer Kozlow.
Thank you. Name and address for the record, please, ma'am, when you reach the lectern there. For the record.
Thank you. My name is Jennifer Kozlow. I live at 3218 Constellation Court. And dear commissioners, thank you for your public service. I'm here to speak about the school bus stops and streetlights. I live at 3218 Constellation Court, and my 2 children attend Sale High School, and the bus stop is 1 block from our house. It is at Lakeshore and Springdale Drive. I don't know, and it picks them up at 6:50 in the morning. There are also students from Rickards there at 6:30 in the morning, and while there are no students this year at Leon, there have been in the past. So I don't know if any of you have been on Lakeshore, and I thank the county for repaving the street, but one thing it has done is it makes people drive like it's the Indy 500 on that street. And then Springdale is people use it as a cut through to get to Meridian, and they cut the corner really quickly. And so last year my kids got lucky. They got picked up at 7:15, so there was a light overhead, so we didn't realize how dangerous it was until this year. We don't have an HOA in our area, and so when I realized it was an issue, I reached out and emailed Commissioner Minor's office, because I'm in District 3, only to learn that the county doesn't have a mechanism for doing the streetlights at the bus stops for the schools. Then I reached out to Leon County Schools. They sent me to the city because we have city utilities. So then city utilities referred me back to the county. So it was kind of like catch-22. Everybody recognized, the Leon County Schools recognized it's a dangerous stop. Everyone who's been out there has recognized, like, our kids are out there in the dark, not just mine, but others, and it's just a dangerous intersection. It's the right intersection for the bus stop, though. I mean, it makes perfect sense to have the bus stop there. I don't want my kids walking down Lakeshore to another location, but it is dangerous, and we kind of feel like we're going round and round. How do we get a light up there? So I'm hoping that you can find some kind of resolution for these dangerous areas, that there be some kind of light up there for the students, because they're never ever going to see the sunlight when they get on the bus. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we go any further, thank you so much. I I wanted to make note of just how well our governments are working together. I was reached out to by school board member Jones, who is a school board member for the area, about this project and about the lighting on Fort Brady. The fact that in the fall, there's pitch black out there on Highway 20, if you can imagine, right? And our staff's response to it to get this on the agenda for us to be able to discuss it later in the year as a budget discussion item speaks a lot to just how well we're working with our sister governments, with the City of Tallahassee and School Board. But not just there. I also reached out to Greg Slade. Greg Slade just confirmed to me just a couple days ago that he has talked to FDOT and about potential sites and gotten the stops from the school district. This is the way things are supposed to work. This is the way we're supposed to reach out to each other and make things happen. And so I'm so proud of the way not just we're responding, but the way our sister governments are relying on us, reaching out to us and allowing us to carry the ball on things like this. And even you, ma'am, coming forth and bringing your words here, you know that there's something that will be done, and that we will respond. And so, School Board Member Jones, thank you for trusting us with pushing this ball down the road. I have Commissioner Welch in queue, but if I could, I would like to, because it's his district, go to Commissioner Caban first and then come to you. Would you? Yes, please.
Mr. Chair, I asked for this agenda item back at the beginning of the school year.
Yes, sir.
So do you mind if I proceed?
Go for it.
Thank you. And I did not know that there were other incidences that had asked about this similar issue. So I want to thank staff for bringing this item back. It's obviously a very comprehensive item. Again, I had one individual contact me at the beginning of the school year, lives out off of Crump in my district. Not in my district. It would be in Commissioner O'Keefe's district, but right on the line, with a concern about this. And so I'm not happy to know that there are other people with a similar concern, but it is, gives me some justification for for having staff do such a comprehensive analysis. So, in terms of a solution, Mr. Chair, I did not know that the other governments were involved to the extent that you say they are, so I think that's great, like you said. I am open to the board's will on which way to go. I mean, I will defer to Commissioner Caban if he wants to make a motion for what he thinks is the right solution. I can make a motion you want me to go ahead and make a motion for one of the options for discussion purposes?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Actually, I wanted you to do that first.
Yeah.
And if you need to confer with the county administrator on how to do it, that's fine.
Yeah, no, when I thought it was just my issue, I thought it was isolated enough to just accept the staff report. But hearing that there are other issues, I think I would like to give staff as much flexibility as possible in trying to deal with the issue without doing MTSUs or even MSBUs. So I would move for option 2, which gives staff the opportunity to bring back a budget discussion item for us to look at, what kind of funding we can throw at this issue, whether it's an isolated small few issues or many, but I think that gives staff the most flexibility. So I'd like to make a motion for option 2.
Option 2 has been moved by Commissioner Welch. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Caban. Thank you so much. Commissioner Welch, thank you for bringing up the fact that you did bring it to the table. And thank you for acknowledging the fact that, there's a lot of moving things going on right now and giving staff the ultimate flexibility to figure this thing out. Thank you so much. Commissioner Caban, then we'll go Commissioner Minor, Commissioner O'Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Commissioner Welch and staff for putting this on the agenda. This is actually a large, if not one of the most prominent complaints that we've had for our district, going out in the Fort Brady community, Highway 20, and also down in Woodville. I've also met with the Fort Brady School, Woodville School as early as today, and I really think we, as a county and as a board, have the ability to take lead for Leon County and the city on this. I do believe we need more info. I do believe we need more direction. But our students and our kids, they should be the priority here. There are kids that live out in our rural communities and in town that are standing in bus stops in the dark. We know that, especially on the south side of town with the student population, Highway 20, these are large traffic areas where people are speeding like crazy. And so I would like to see us follow back up on this when we have more information from staff and look at an opportunity to take the lead as a group.
Thanks, sir. Commissioner Minor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Welch, thank you for making that motion. I support it and will vote for it. One thing I was hoping I had a question, I guess, for the administrator about was would number 2 also include, well, no, it doesn't actually. I'd like to have some information on how an MSBU street light by petition process would take place. I don't know if we want to go there before we see number 2, but I could see some of our neighborhoods actually going in that direction. So I think now, as I'm talking out loud and thinking at the same time, I think motion option 2 is probably the best route, although it might lead to us going to the MSBU option for some of those neighborhoods. I have 2 examples, and one is what Ms. Kozlow had described, and thank you very much for reaching out to us. And another one is way up near the Georgia border, Fairbanks Ferry. They've requested some school bus street lights, but also some other street lights, mostly school bus stop lights. We met with Talquin. We actually had a meeting with the neighborhood and Talquin, and the total cost for that lighting quoted by Talquin was less than $3,500 for the installation cost. So we're not talking about a lot here. I don't know that they would be able to do an MSBU type of thing where a portion of that is prorated across neighbors and spread out across time. But just recently they had several months ago, they had a fatality walking along Fairbanks Ferry at night, simply, and it was a hit and run. And the sheriff's office is still still working on that case. But this is a neighborhood very remote, well outside the USA, that really does need streetlights. And so when option 2 comes back to us, I'd like to see what neighborhoods such as Fairbanks Ferry might be able to have within that new process. They are out of the USA, and under current county procedures or process, they would not be eligible for life funding. But I'd like to see how we can help those remote neighborhoods like that, because when you have a fatality, at least one, we think there might even have been another, when it's pitch dark out there at night along these very remote neighborhoods, they're asking for lights, and we have an obligation to look into that and do everything we can for them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I just have a point of information question for Administrator.
Yes, sir.
With option 2, do you still have the ability, when you come back, to include what the impacts of including either an MSTU or MSBU are, or as part of financing options?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Commissioner, that's kind of the way why we broke them apart like this, just in case the board wanted to limit and take options off the table for us. But if the board, again, wanted to include options 1 and you wanted to look at the MSBUs, obviously you could add option 3 or option 2 and 3 and 4, or you could just simply do a modified version of any of these options, and we would take that direction and bring you back all the information you requested.
Gotcha. Just want to make sure for our vote we knew whether we were going to get information on those options or not as part of it. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Commissioner Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the discussion from my fellow commissioners in reference to this particular issue, and I appreciate Ms. Jennifer Hosford, I believe, for coming and speaking to us in reference to it. And of course, the health and safety of our children. We're talking about school children at bus stops in the dark. We are concerned about that health and safety as well. Thank you, Commissioner Welch, for raising it a little while ago. But anyway, I support the motion, but I'd just like to ask the county administrator if, in looking at this from a budget discussion standpoint, is there any scenario that would not involve taxing the residents in those particular areas?
Mr. Administrator.
Thank you. The only they all have a fiscal impact. So to a lesser degree, they would all, or to a degree, they would all involve being supported by tax revenue. The issue is what mechanism do you use to do that? Do you use general revenue and sort of have, all the county's entire general revenue support it in a kind of a smaller scale program? Or do you allow people to simply request and pay for it as a geographical group of people? That would be the MSBU route. Or do you support it on a grand scale? And so as you could tell, it's all very scalable, depending on how big or small you'd like to make the program. But the option that's on the table currently would give us the direction to bring you back a budget discussion item to simply modify the existing policy that you have in place, and for the board to determine what level of additional support, general revenue support, would be necessary to expand the program to accommodate the demand for this type of a thing.
If I may follow. Thank you, Mr. County Administrator. And then, and staff are looking at this, will we be looking at just a number of individuals or locations where this request has been made? Would we be looking at the number of bus stops that are presently not lighted? In other words, what would be, I guess, the bottom denominator, or the common denominator for us to make that analysis?
Sure. Well, with the existing motion that's on the table, what we would do, and I think we talked a little bit about this in the item, but what we would do is prepare for your consideration some criteria on how you would develop a program like this. And that, perhaps that could look like maybe for those individuals who are not in a recorded subdivision, who may not be members of an HOA, who may not have the ability to avail themselves of Talquin or the city of Tallahassee. So you would go through sort of a process where you would identify criteria that may fit the need, given that the scale of this option would be the smallest.
Anything else?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, option number 2 has been moved by Commissioner Welch, seconded by Commissioner Caban. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Item number 20, Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Sometimes we have agenda items that are just good news for the county, and today we have 3 in a row. So how about that? We've got to start with the agenda item before you now. Item number 20 seeks the board's acceptance of a $20,000 donation, as Commissioner Caban noted earlier in the proclamation from Duke Energy. For Duke Energy's efforts, again, earlier in the meeting, we recognize them in particular for their corporate citizenry recently in Fort Braden. The donation will be used to install street lighting at the Fort Braden History Walk, as Commissioner Caban said, and it will provide a safe location for Fort Braden residents to exercise out there on the History Walk beyond your daylight hours. With that, I have no speakers on this item, and we are recommending option 1.
Commissioner Proctor.
Chairman, colleagues, I want to extend congratulations to our colleague, Commissioner Caban. Seldom does a commissioner arrive at this dais on day 1 with great hostile dynamics, staring him straight down his eyes and negotiating, communicating, bringing the heat down, as you have, has been extraordinary to me. And you walked in on day 1 in a situation that we've never seen. And to the extent that this is a testament to your communication gifts, says a lot. I thought it worthy to say thank you for how you've handled all of this effort.
Thank you, Commissioner Caban.
Thank you, Commissioner Proctor. I would love to take the credit, but staff did a great job helping and moving this forward, as well as Duke Energy, who has received the proclamation today. I think it's extremely important to have good partners in the community that that can come to the table and really come up with a solution that works for everyone. So I appreciate your acknowledgement. Thank you so much.
You know what? I was outside of policy. I'm sorry. Commissioner Caban makes a motion for staff recommendations, seconded by Commissioner Proctor. All right. Any other discussion? I see nobody in queue. All those in favor can by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Item number 21, Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Item number 21 similarly allows us to accept the $100,000 donation in support of library enhancements to programs and services in support of our Essential Libraries initiative. The big check was nice, but this just helps us actually realize those revenues in the county budget. So with that, I have no speaker cards. Happy to answer any questions. We're recommending option 1.
Staff recommendation has been moved by Commissioner Proctor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner O'Keefe. Any objection? Seeing none, no, show it as approved. Item number 22, Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Again, just to round out the good news, item number 22 is a grant that provides incentive payments of up to $7,500 for homeowners that are upgrading or replacing conventional septic tanks to advanced nitrogen-reducing septic tanks. I know the board, based on all your previous efforts, are very familiar with this, but this simply allows us to receive additional dollars from the state of Florida for our current for the programs that we currently have underway. Again, the county, you may recall, received a similar grant, bringing the current total to $2.2 million. Together, these grants are projected to upgrade or replace an additional nearly 300 septic tanks. In addition, Commissioners, on your consent item today was the acceptance of the wastewater treatment report. This report provides guidance to homeowners and septic tanks installers in identifying the appropriate systems for their properties. And of course, this will go a long way with homeowners in offsetting those costs. And so, again, with that, Commissioners, happy to answer any questions. We're recommending options 1 and 2 on this item.
Staff recommendation has been moved by Commissioner Welch, seconded by Madam Vice Chair Cummings. I have Commissioner Proctor in queue.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say that I'm heartily delighted by this grant that we received, and I don't want to be associated too much, overly so, with sewer and septic. You know, the optics of it and all. But I'm delighted and, again, find great reward in FDP coming through for our community. This is huge, and it keeps our momentum going, and it allows for us to not, to the public, to be selling empty wolf tickets. It arms us to allow for the public to step forward without any sense of incrimination, that to take this step forward would incur an expensive, heavy bill upon families who otherwise could not take on such debt for this purpose. So this is huge. The effort to communicate and to send notices or pamphlets or whatever we're going to do, I'm asking for continued, don't get weary, staff. Don't get weary. But please, target and let this good news go forward in the channels that are appropriate. Those would be my words of encouragement, and thanks to you. And I'm very pleased to support the motion made by Commissioner Welch.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Welch made a motion, seconded by Commissioner Cummings, Vice Chair Cummings. I have Commissioner O'Keefe and Commissioner Cummings in queue.
Thank you, Chairman. This is great news, and I just want to join the chorus from earlier today in recognizing staff. We, as a county, and it doesn't surprise me because our community values our environment a lot, and my understanding is that a lot of these FDP grants come in because, as a county, our staff is so far ahead and focused on cleaning up, in simple terms, cleaning up the sewer. And I just want to acknowledge that.
Thank you. Commissioner Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm elated with this grant. I thank staff or whoever was involved with the hard work to bring this to fruition. It's certainly going to be a benefit to the county, to the environment, the water quality in the county, just all aspects of health, safety, and the welfare of our citizens to upgrade, the septic system. So congratulations. I certainly wholeheartedly, I'm just very, very excited that eventually we will be able to upgrade all the citizens in the county, especially, on the south side. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Staff recommendation has been moved by Commissioner Welch, seconded by Commissioner Cummings. Is there any objection to the motion on the floor? Seeing none, show it is passed unanimously. Introduce item number 23, Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, item number 23 seeks board nominations to the governor for appointments to the Children's Services Council due to the expiration of terms of two of our existing members on the CSC. Pursuant to Florida statutes, the board is required to submit at least 3 names to the governor for each vacancy. With 2 vacancies, the board must submit at least 6 names. So as detailed in this item, we're recommending submitting 7 names to the governor, which will allow our commissioners, each commissioner, to nominate 1 candidate. A list of all eligible candidates is included in Table 2, and additional information is included in Attachment 1. And Mr. Chairman, I will hand it back to you to seek nominations from the board.
Thank you. So I have Commissioner Proctor, then Commissioner Cummings. Commissioner Proctor.
Point of information.
Yes, sir.
To the Administrator. The slate, can the names duplicate, or can the same names be repetitive on both slates of nominations?
Well, of the 7, and I think I understand what you said, of the 7, they obviously need to be 7 unique names, but they can be people who are currently serving on the CSC?
Okay. No, will we be making 7 names for each potential appointment, so we'll be making a total of 14?
No, it would just be 7. It's 3 each. The Florida statutes requires us to make 3 each for each of the vacancies. We have 2 vacancies, so that would be 6. But since we have 7 commissioners, we recommend just sending 7 nominations to the governor.
Okay. Commissioners, I'd like to nominate Ms. Brenda Williams, who's in this pool and open, qualified for, and would be willing to give testimony as to why I make that nomination if it's desired by you. But
Ms. Brenda Williams has been nominated by the immediate past chairman, seconded by Commissioner Caban. Is there any objection? Seeing none, show is approved as a part of the slate. Commissioner Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I nominate Mr. Paul Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell is presently serving as a member of the council. He served as our treasurer and our budget chair.
Mr. Paul Mitchell has been nominated by Commissioner Cummings, Madam Vice Chair Cummings. Is there a second to such? Seconded by Commissioner Welch. Is there any objection? Seeing none, show him as approved as well. Commissioner Welch.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you, and thank you, Madam Vice Chair, for renominating Mr. Mitchell, who I initially appointed and was pleased to serve on the CSC. I think he's done a great job, and he's a District 4 guy, and I appreciate you reappointing him. I would like to nominate Mr. Bill Shack.
Bill Shack has been moved by Commissioner Welch. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Caban. Is there any objection? Seeing none, show him as approved as well. I got to go down the line, so I guess I'll go with Commissioner O'Keefe.
Thank you. I would like to nominate Keisha Marie Jenkins.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Keisha Marie Jenkins.
Keisha Marie Jenkins has been moved by Commissioner O'Keefe. Is there a second? I'll second that. Is there any objection? Seeing none, show it as approved. Commissioner Minor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to nominate Ms. Melissa Cobb.
Sorry, thank you.
yes. Number 2.
Melissa Cobb has been moved by Commissioner Minor. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cummings. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is that Lisa Thompson over there? I'm sorry. cannot see that.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can. I'm going to nominate Eric Whitehead.
I second.
Eric Whitehead has been nominated by the chairman, seconded by Commissioner Cummings. Any objection? Seeing none, show it as approved. We have our 7 nominees that will be sent to the governor. I'm sorry, Commissioner Caban.
I would like to nominate Parker Daniel.
Parker Daniel has been moved by Commissioner Caban. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cummings. I'm sorry, Vice Chair Cummings. Is there any objection? Seeing it as passed unanimously, we have our 7. Any other comment? Seeing none, item number 24, Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, item number 24 is back before you. You'll recall it from your last meeting. This item seeks board approval to appoint commissioners to the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, the Appalachian Regional Planning Council, the Canopy Roads Committee, CRTPA, COCA, and the LCRDA, to use just a couple of acronyms. And so with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll hand it over to you to facilitate those nominations.
Commissioner Proctor.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. These are in alphabetical order, but are you expecting us to nominate as per its, just random?
Just random.
Okay. I'd like to nominate Commissioner Caban for Leon County Research and Development Authority, replacing former member Kristen Dozier to that important committee.
Commissioner Caban has been moved for LCRDA. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Cummings. Any comment?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For many years, I've been a vocal advocate for Innovation Park and the Mag Lab, and I'm also interested in the position. For about the past 3 months, I've met with nearly all the members of the Board of Governors, and last week went to an executive committee from the LCRDA. And I want to talk with them about their visions for the park. And as you all know, the LCRDA has 2 missions. One is to develop a thriving research park, number 1. Number 2 is to grow the local economy by commercializing the research that's there. If you talk to the Board of Governors, they'll tell you they've done a great job on number 1, but they haven't been able to do number 2. They don't have the tools to do number 2. And that's because LCRDA's revenue is about $650,000 a year. That revenue on a good day is barely enough to cover the annual operating costs. The revenue that they get is not enough to pay for the necessary upgrades on these 30-year-old buildings, and it's not enough to accomplish the full mission of the LCRDA. I'm saying this because I've spent the last 3 months meeting with the Board of Governors, talking about the visions for the future. The status quo of the LCRDA, in my opinion, is not enough to get them where they want to go. There's going to be some type of transformational change that has to happen so that they get the capital, they can recruit the private sector to come to Innovation Park. I've got about a decade in my old days, I had about 9-10 years of experience in the tech business sector, so I think I'm well suited to it. And I know, Commissioner Caban, often the way it works is, the first person to get a motion and get a nomination really has the advantage. And I understand that, and if you get it, I'm going to support you 100%. But I just wanted to convey this to you. I've done a lot of the homework to talk with the Board of Governors, talk about what the vision of the future is, and I think I'm well suited for it. And if I am selected, I'd be honored to serve. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate that comment. Any other comment on this LCRDA? Commissioner Caban.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you, Commissioner Proctor, for the nomination, and Commissioner Cummings for the second. I do agree with you, Commissioner Minor. My background and what I do for a living is managing, developing commercial real estate. And so I do agree with you that we are not taking full advantage of Innovation Park and the opportunities that come along with the development. I think that I am more than suited to take us in the right direction so it is profitable. Additionally, and one reason why I do want to be on this board, it is the biggest asset probably in District 2. It is a future economic driver, and I believe if managed properly, can be one of the biggest economic drivers in our community.
Any other comments on this item? Any other nominations? All in favor of Commissioner Caban being the appointee to the LCRDA board from Leon County, Board of County Commissioners, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries without objection.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Just want to say congratulations. I will do everything I can to help you be successful in the LCRDA too.
Commissioner Cummings, you have the floor. Madam Vice Chair. Commissioner Welch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm not making, obviously, a motion for myself, but I have been asked by COCA if I would.
I make a motion that Commissioner Welch be, I'm sorry, will someone make the motion for me?
I move Commissioner Welch to the COCA board.
Commissioner Welch has been moved to be a part of the COCA board. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner O'Keefe. Any other comment?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
may I real quickly? Thank you all for that. And, COCA has been working with us to put on Family Day for the past couple of years, and obviously that's near and dear to my heart. So I appreciate your consideration for that appointment. Thank you.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries without objection. I have Commissioner Caban. You're in queue? No? Commissioner Cummings?
Yes. Mr. Chair, I move the appointment of our chair, Commissioner Nick Maddox, to the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee.
Second.
Motion been made by Madam Vice Chair Cummings that I be appointed to the Affordable Housing AHAC Committee, seconded by immediate past Chair Proctor. Any objection or any comment? Yes, sir. Commissioner O'Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
In the interest of copying Commissioner Minor, I'll just, you've been on it, and so I will absolutely support your nomination, should that be the vote. And I just wanted to express my interest in this position and my background in digging into it as an issue that has been personal to me and an issue that I've been meeting with reporters, people who are experiencing houselessness, developers, affordable housing developers, and something I've been really digging into and would be interested in. Either way, I know we can work together on it and get involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion on the floor that the chair be appointed to the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, indicate by say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries without objection. Mr. Administrator, do we have any more appointments?
That concludes your appointments. It also concludes your general business agenda. Mr. Chairman, you have only your scheduled public hearing at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Point of order?
Yes, sir.
Don't we also have Appalachia Regional Planning, Canopy Roads, CRTPA?
Yeah. Did y'all do that at the last meeting?
No, we didn't do any.
They weren't?
No, we wanted to make sure you were here.
Oh, okay, very
Mr. Administrator, it's been brought to my
Commissioner
attention.
Dozier's name appears on, a couple of committees that we've not filled.
So, Mr. Administrator, we do have appointments to those committees just mentioned, correct?
No, what I thought, Mr. Chairman, was that you had concluded you'd run all the way through the cycle, but again, we still have, I believe, the citizens, the Canopy Roads Committee. What is it, CRTPA, and what's the other one? 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Got it.
I'm looking for nominations. Commissioner Minor.
Mr. Chairman, if Commissioner Welch would agree to serving on the Canopy Road Citizens Committee, I would be happy to nominate him for another term.
Commissioner Welch would not.
Okay, sorry to put you in that spot. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Commissioner O'Keefe, I'm sorry.
Sure. If it's in order, I personally would be very interested in serving on either the CRTPA agency because transportation planning and making sure that we are smart in our development and make sure that we both have regional car dependent but also multimodal transportation is of interest of mine, as well as Appalachia Regional Planning Council, again, in regional planning, making sure we're smart in our development. And I just wanted to mention that if anybody
Thanks, sir.
considers that.
Was that a self-nomination?
It sounds like one. Is there any other
We move,
interest in CRT?
Mr. O'Keefe, Commissioner O'Keefe is our representative of CRPTA.
Thanks, sir. So immediate past Chair Proctor has moved. Commissioner Proctor has moved for Commissioner O'Keefe to be our CRTPA, third CRTPA appointee, seconded by Commissioner O'Keefe. Any other
No,
comment?
he's the nominee.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Welch. Any other, y'all sound the same. Any other comment? Seeing none, any objection? Show it as approved. Any other nominations? I believe we have ARP, 2 more. And Canopy Roads. I'll tell you what.
I'm
looking
going
for
to abolish the Canopy Road thingy.
I'm sorry, say it again?
I thought we were going to abolish the Canopy Road committee. Sunset, do they sunset, Madam Attorney?
No, I don't think so, Commissioner.
No, the licensing board is sunsetting later this year, but not the Canopy Roads.
Is this a state statute, statutory established committee, or just something we do locally of our own home rule, Canopy Road?
I believe it's just local.
It's local.
It's local.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Commissioner Minor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Switching subjects a little bit, I'd be happy to serve on the ARP if no one else was looking for that position. It's closely linked with CRTPA, so I think it'd be a good fit.
Is there a motion to such effect?
So move.
Moved by
Second.
Commissioner O'Keefe, seconded by Commissioner Commissioner Caban. All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries without objection.
Thanks, everyone.
We're looking for Canopy Roads.
Well, I nominate Commissioner Welch, given it's either 5 or 4. Most of these Miccosukee,
He has said he's not
Meridian,
interested in serving on
they
the.
all in his district, you know.
Yeah.
We don't have any, we don't have any.
Commissioner O'Keefe?
District 5 has a lot of Canopy Roads, and I didn't want to sign up for everything and take all the homework, but it's an issue that's important to District 5, and I'd be honored to serve.
Is there a motion to such effect? Moved by Commissioner Caban, seconded by Commissioner Welch. Any objection? Seeing none, show it as approved, and that should round us out, correct?
Yes, sorry for jumping the gun earlier. I wanted to make sure the county attorney was paying attention.
Right. All right, it is 4:30. I would like for us to get through comment, so when we come back, we just have the public hearing. I'll start with the county attorney.
I have nothing for the board. Thank you.
Mr. Administrator?
I have nothing, Mr. Chairman, just to say again, just another thanks for all the good direction that we received yesterday at the board's annual retreat. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have one thing. I have received a request from the Garden Club that we move up their historic designation item. I don't believe we were able to put it on today's agenda, correct, Mr. Administrator? We were not able to put it on today's agenda, so what I had told them is that maybe we would put a proclamation together, stating our intention to approve them being a historic designation, a building there. And so what I'm looking for is a motion to approve that proclamation. Moved by Commissioner O'Keefe, there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Minor. Any objection? Seeing none, show it as approved. I wanted to go ahead and get it out of the way because I didn't have it written down. So now I'm going to go to Commissioner comment, and I'll start with Commissioner Caban.
Yes, first of all, I would like to say to Commissioner Proctor, I'm glad to see that you are back with us, nice and healthy. Second, I want to bring a motion to the table requesting a workshop, and I kind of want to explain why. Yesterday in our board retreat, we moved forward with an strategic initiative, looking at ways to move forward with an issue of homelessness in our community. I know it's a topic that last year, we kind of, as a board, part of me being on the commission, we kicked the can down the road. And I would like to request a workshop from staff, just look at ways where we can look at certain parts of our community, Pensacola Street, Monroe Street, downtown, there's certain parts of our community, and District 2 residents are actively sending emails to, pretty much every week now at the point with homelessness in our community. So I guess my formal motion is I would like to request a workshop for homelessness.
Workshop on homelessness, is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner O'Keefe. Any objection? Yes, sir.
We've gnawed on this bone, and largely some of the things that we saw before, I think the sheriff wanted us to slow up on. I'm looking for something unique, something different. We're just gonna kill a few trees and make some paper and have a workshop. it's my sense that we were waiting and we need for the city to get off the fence. And we've got to decide if we're going to go hard. And we want to be compassionate, but we've erred on the side of being soft and not coming with anything hard or definitive. And no one's single voice has been loud or clearer than Commissioner Minor on the homeless issue for a long time. And yet we can't seem to decide whether we want to be definitively clear with the homeless. And during COVID, I think that there was great compassion everywhere, and nobody was really going hard. I don't want to just, you don't play hardball using a plastic bat. And this is a hardball issue. And if we're gathering merely to hear ourselves talk and we're not pushing for a policy situation, even if we have to push the sheriff to get off the fence, I don't want to come to this again and we ain't going nowhere. The problem is expanding. If we come in with something, and I think that we should probably look for best practices and some models from across United States. Madam Attorney, I would love to see ordinances proposed. I don't want this just to be a chew on the bone and we don't. But I think that we need to have not just a soft talk, but we need to look at distinct policies, and that includes punitive measures, or that includes how many times you get a warning, if that's the problem. Or is it even criminal to be homeless? What makes it a crime? I mean, we got a lot to talk about, and I think that we need to let it all hang out and determine which direction we're going to go. And our posture may well influence a city government, and it may be something once we come to a point of agreement that we're able to sit down with the city and have a larger conversation. Those are my thoughts, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'd be happy to recirculate the agenda item. I believe it was before we had our two newest commissioners on the board, related to regulating homelessness and the fact that you cannot criminalize homelessness. If you were to adopt such an ordinance, it would violate multiple constitutional provisions. There's a good outline of what it would take to regulate homelessness without criminalizing it. I'm happy to circulate that to the board for review. Thank you.
All right, so I have Commissioner Welch, Commissioner O'Keefe, Commissioner Minor, Commissioner Cummings, Commissioner Welch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just as a reminder, and this may be the next step, it's probably been, I don't know, a year, 8 months ago that we had an ordinance that came before the commission that was very carefully and narrowly crafted by the county attorney in consultation with the county administrator. I supported that ordinance, but at the time, it was very close to the time that we had established the host deputies for the sheriff. Commissioner Jackson, obviously having specific issues in that district with homelessness, wanted to, at that time, wait and hear back from the sheriff. I think it was a 6-month or a year-long window. We wanted to see how the host program was going. As far as I know, we have not gotten a follow-up in regards to that. The host program was 2 deputies. I think we allocated $500,000 to have 2 ununiformed deputies dedicated strictly to our street teams to go out and deal with folks. So maybe instead of a workshop, perhaps Commissioner Caban, we could ask the sheriff to come back, follow up with us, and see how that host program is going, and then maybe use that as a stepping stone to further conversations.
Mr. Administrator?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just to a quick comment on that, the sheriff is scheduled to provide that follow-up presentation back to the board. I think it's at the next meeting, right? And so yeah, we're right at that time frame now. So we will be scheduling that.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Is that okay? Commissioner Command, would that maybe be a alternative to the workshop at this point? Or, I'm fine if you still want to have a full-blown workshop. Obviously, we have new voices on the commission who may benefit from some knowledge that would come from that. But just my suggestion maybe for a next step.
I would be okay with that. I just know that this is a growing concern. I don't believe that it's a crime to be homeless, but I do believe that this is a growing concern, specifically in District 2. A large portion of our residents, they drive on Pensacola Street every single day. I drive on Pensacola Street. My aide drives on Pensacola Street. And there are some things that are going on Pensacola Street. If I had a child, I would not want them to see at a young age. And so I think we just need to look at this as a community, and then come back as a board and make a decision.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. So wait. I got a long line. Make sure you guys are using the buttons here so I can know you're in queue. I have Commissioner O'Keefe, followed by Commissioner Minor, followed by Commissioner Cummings, followed by Commissioner Proctor. Commissioner O'Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Caban, I'm very sympathetic for putting together a recommendation for an item and, getting feedback that, we have things going and stuff like that. And so what everyone's saying makes sense, and I appreciate knowing that the host program we'll get an update on next month. And it was a year ago in February when the ordinance was considered, and at the time, like Commissioner Welch said, they hadn't had to hire the host folks, and so that's, I think, an important update. And in my time so far, I've met with a lot of community and street level organizations that have given a lot of input that if you want me to, after I can give you a list of some of them people to contact, and I think as far as information gathering, you'll get a lot more from them than you will at a workshop, and then we can see where we go, as reports come in, knowing that we have two specific strategic priorities now that staff is going to come back and build into our strategic plan on this as well.
Commissioner Command, if I would, what I would recommend is that we let the sheriff come back and speak to us, and after such time you think a workshop is necessary, you ask for it then rather than now?
Good with that?
All right, so would you like to rescind that motion?
I'll rescind the motion.
Thank you, sir. You have anything else for us today?
That's it.
All right, Commissioner Minor, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just something that's really pertinent to what we're discussing. The Big Bend Continuum of Care is undergoing its annual point-in-time count today and tomorrow, and it's doing the surrounding counties for the rest of the week. I volunteered this morning and actually met one of the deputies that's assigned to the host team. So they're doing good work. They're going to continue with Leon County tomorrow and then go on to the remaining counties for the rest of the week. So a year ago, if you all remember, we invested $6.2 million, both the city and the county, into homelessness efforts.
Yes, sir.
Last month, I told Jonna Coleman, who is the ED for the Big Bend COC, I asked her to prepare for an update presentation to us after the new PIT count, the point time count numbers have come in. 2 years ago, the number of homelessness was about 800. Last year was about 650. I think if you talk to people around town, they would say it's probably gone up since then. But once we get that data back in, I asked her to prepare a presentation for us, updating us on where we are at that moment after the point in time count, and then help us identify where that $6.2 million investment, where that paid off, where we saw improvement, and where we need to continue to work on. I think the public out there is looking for answers and looking for resolution. We had a historical amount of investment in homelessness assistance efforts, and we need to really figure out how that money was helping us improve the situation, where we still need to work, and where we're going to go forward. So I don't have the authority to just willy-nilly, talk to people about coming to the county commission to present, but she does have the expectation in March or April of coming back here and delivering that data, that updated data to us.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Proctor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, Commissioner Chairman, I want to recognize in the building with us tonight.
Wait, this is a comment on, you got any comment on the homeless?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to recognize the Leadership Tallahassee Class 40. They're called the Fierce 40. If y'all here, just wave your hands in there like you just don't care.
Hey,
shouts out Leadership 40. Oh, Caban, you in that class?
In this class, yes, sir.
Well, we know who the summa cum laude candidates will not be. It won't be Caban, trust me. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I believe that the issue is is being homeless a crime? I think not. But the other question is, because you're homeless, do you get a waiver and are you exempt from behaving in a way that respects law and order? I think the sheriff was indicating that undergirding many people who are homeless, there is an absent psychology different from yours that aspires to be proper, aspires to follow law and order. There's a sense of hopelessness and not caring and psychological in a different zone, different lane than our thoughts. The sheriff said I could pack up and sell out the jail by the random misconduct repeated over and over. Then taxpayers would have a bill of about $95 a night for each head in those beds. And when you consider jail as a step up, I mean, would you rather have been on the streets last night or in Leon County Jail? It would have felt a lot better being in jail a lot of nights in December, January, the coming nights. So the jail is an incentive, and some people, the sheriff indicated, that's where they want to go. It's a better option. 3 meals and a cot. It's a downward spiral and step for us, but it's an upward climb for many. That's part of what we're balancing. So with respect to hearing the sheriff, do we want to just lock up poor people who can't afford life in our country, in our city? And those are the concerns. Our chairman is on Affordable Housing Committee. I've been thinking about doing a press conference, Mr. Chairman. There's a house, 1,624 square feet on Pontiac Drive, which is in District 1 in South City. And it's on the market for $325,000 on Pontiac Drive. And when those real wide options, it's hard to get the $325,000 for someone who is in South City. And there are going to be a lot more people. So I'm interested in the compassion element, but I do not believe that the things that people see on Pensacola Street, I mean, I go by there and drive by that way and don't want to look. It's real. So when we come to the discussion after we receive the sheriff's report, I think it's incumbent on the sheriff to give us a green light, amber light, some recommendation as to whether or not it's time to put into place the measures that the county attorney had come up with, or if we're going to step back and let the sheriff continue to work with those two people and whatever. But what Commissioner Caban is telling us is that them two people and that $500,000 seemingly is not having the impact that we're hoping. But maybe the sheriff can give us a definitive report. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. All right. Commissioner Capel, you said you were done with your, okay, all right. So I'm going to go now to Commissioner O'Keefe.
None tonight. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Welch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to say congratulations to my leadership Tallahassee classmate, class 36. Ms. Terry Ard was put in place as the new chair of the Tallahassee Chamber last week. And so I know my leadership Tallahassee class is very proud of Terry. And so if you're out there listening, classmates, let's give her a shout out. I also sit on the board of the Foundation for Leon County Schools, and we have our soiree coming up. I know you're very familiar with that, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to encourage everybody to check out their Facebook page and stuff and look at perhaps getting a ticket. All that money goes back into our classroom grant programs, our teacher classroom grants. Also wanted to thank Joey Davis with Tallahassee Fire Department. Kyle, my aide, and I had the opportunity to do a ride-along with TFD over the Christmas holidays. Also had the opportunity to do a ride-along with Tallahassee Police Department, Officer Hines, Officer Stats, and Sergeant Turner's unit on a Friday night. And just wanted to say thank you to those brave public servants who serve on our front lines. Kyle and I are looking forward to scheduling a ride along. We've been with the Sheriff's Department before, but we have not been with our EMS people, folks before here at the county. So we're looking forward to doing that. I think it's extremely important for all of us to, as we discuss homelessness and we discuss crime in the community, to have the perspective of our local first responders and how they deal with these issues. So I would encourage everybody, and I know most of us may already have done ride-alongs, but maybe do another one. Kyle and I are going to try and schedule one every quarter for a while and see all sectors of the city. When we rode with the fire department TBD, we were mostly downtown, south side, and west side, and I want to ride around all quadrants and all districts. And so just wanted to thank those folks for hosting us and letting us ride along with them. It's a very difficult job, as we all know, and I really value the work that those good folks do. So thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Vice Chair Cummings.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to just, if I can, just make a comment about the homeless.
Yes, ma'am.
Homeless issue as well. And I know that we are all sensitive with the news that a couple of the, homeless people lost their lives the last couple of weeks because of the really, really cold weather. And I just hope that we can come up, we can ask for wisdom for some compassionate solutions to deal with the homeless population here in Leon County. I would never vote to criminalize homelessness, and I don't think my fellow commissioners would either, but we need to address it in a compassionate way. And I believe getting a report from the sheriff, and I think we agreed, Mr. County Administrator, or I think the sheriff asked us to give him 6 months.
That's correct.
With the 2 dedicated officers that we supported financially, he asked us to give him 6 months, and then he would come back and report.
And he'll be here at the next meeting.
And he will be here. Okay, awesome. But the other thing I wanted to say is our situation is not unique to Tallahassee. If you go to any city comparable or even bigger, they have the homeless population and they have that homeless issue. And so far, I'm not aware of any city that has successfully dealt with the homeless population. So our city is unique, and so I think it's going to take some unique solutions, maybe on the line of what Commissioner Proctor was raising. But let me say this: we're Tallahassee, we're unique, but other cities have far more major problems with the homeless. I was in Los Angeles within this last year, LA. There are blocks and blocks and blocks of tents of homeless people. Downtown LA, major city. I'm sure the budget is a lot more than City of Tallahassee county budget put together. And we rode, and it's just hard, it's devastating. If you see all of those tents, blocks and blocks, you see the children and the moms and the dads. It's almost unbelievable that in 2023, you can drive down our major cities and see people living in those conditions. So my point is, no city that I'm aware of has actually solved the problem. So I think, Mr. County Administrator, that we've done a good job trying to address it. We just have to keep plugging at it. But in the back of our mind, we have to recognize that our homeless population, you know, there are people, and there are a certain amount of them that do have mental, you know, problems. And it hurts my heart to know that many of those homeless people are veterans. You know, they served our country. Some of them are older people, and they actually fought in some of the wars. So I think if we continue to plug at it, Commissioner Caban, I think eventually we will address some of the issues, but we are not alone. That's just my point. Mr. Chair, we're not alone. Thank you for that.
Thank you for your comment.
Okay, I want us to recognize that our county administrator continues to be honored. I'm not sure if all of us have seen this, 850 Business Magazine. Have you seen it? Not only has he been honored as the top administrator in the world, but he continues to be honored and recognized. So I just want to give kudos to him and his staff, to Alan and all the people that work with him.
Look at him blush, old cover boy.
Is he blushing? Is he blushing?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Cummings, with comments like that, he'll sign your copy.
Oh, he'll sign it. He'll autograph it. Okay, maybe I'll do that.
Commissioner Cummings, I thought that was a calendar.
It opens up.
Okay.
Oh, it opens up. Well, maybe for the bicentennial, maybe we can do some calendars with the county administrator's picture and name on it.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations. As many of us know, the chamber, the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, celebrated their 100th year, or celebrating their 100th year anniversary, and they had a major event this week. And I'd like to request from the commission a proclamation recognizing the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce.
There's second.
You know, it's
Motion been seconded by Commissioner Welch. Go ahead.
okay. Thank you. But it's comprised of our business leaders, our business owners, and they contribute significantly to the economy in Leon County. So, anyway.
Any objections to the motion on the floor? Seeing none, show it is approved unanimously.
Thank you.
Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. And I also want to remind the commissioners and those present that there will be a dedication tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Somewhere around Robb Middle School, where we will be, the county is renaming a certain portion of Tharp Street the Georgia Joy Bowen Roadway. Mrs. Georgia Joy Bowen served on the Leon County School Board, and I think she's one of the longest serving school board members. So in honor of her public service and dedication to the citizens of Leon County as a school board member, we will have that dedication. So I want to thank the commission and our county administrator for that honor. And I plan to be there. I'm sure our chair will be there, and just want to remind the commission.
She's a good member of Bethel Missionary Baptist
Good member
Church.
of Bethel
Will be there.
Missionary Baptist Church.
Commissioner
She's also my sorority sister.
There we go.
as well.
And being as such, I would ask, do we have a proclamation prepared for her or such? If we do not, we do?
We do not.
We do not. Madam Vice Chair, would you make that motion?
I would move that we also prepare a proclamation in honor of Mrs. Bowen, and that we invite her to our meeting to accept the proclamation.
Seconded by Commissioner Minor. Any objection? Seeing none, show it is passed unanimously. Anything else, ma'am?
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Minor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Cummings, I want to thank you for your comments on homelessness. I think it was really insightful. And Vince and I talked earlier about Washington, D.C. It's a similar issue on K Street, no less. Amanda Wander was the predecessor to Jonna Coleman last year, and one thing she told me really stuck with me. She said 80% of the homeless that are living in Leon County could be transitioned to stable housing, but for just one or two barriers, whether it's a missed prescription, whether it's a record on their in their history, right, those types of things. So a large portion of the number of homeless in this county could be transitioned to stable housing if we can customize solutions for them and help them find a way to conquer those barriers. And so you're right, there's no city that's solved homelessness. Tallahassee won't solve homelessness. But I believe with the right approach and the right investment that we've made, we should expect to be able to reduce it and help people that really are on the streets that need help. I have two things, Mr. Chairman. One is I'd like to request that the board approve an addition to its 2023 legislative agenda. And I realize that since this is not only on the board's agenda, this has to be unanimous if it's going to pass tonight.
Yes, sir.
The Florida African American Heritage Preservation Network is a statewide network of African American museums.
Yes.
Altemies Barnes has asked us to add this to our legislative agenda so that we could request of the state $800,000. Last year, the governor had funded the FAA HPN for $500,000, but in the end, the legislature actually increased it to $800,000. So I'd like to make a motion to add this to our legislative agenda, basically adding to our agenda so that we are asking the state, the legislature, for $800,000 for the FAA HPN network. Now, this is not a local bill. It's for the statewide network, but it does favor Tallahassee because since the headquarters of FAA HPN is in Tallahassee, that allows the hiring of 3 staffers that would reside in Tallahassee or the maintaining of that staff member. So, with the recent decision by the Florida Department of Education, I'd say our support of African American history is more important than ever before. So I'd like to move that we add this request.
Motion been made by Commissioner Minor, seconded by our Vice Chair.
Could you restate the latter part?
Restate the motion, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This would add to our county legislative agenda for 2023 the appropriation request for FAA HPM to receive $800,000 for their annual budget.
All right. Any other comment? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, will be added.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one more thing. I'd like to request a proclamation for Miss Sandy Beck. She's the education director for St. Francis Wildlife. She has spent 34 years at St. Francis, but is going to be stepping down, and just wanted to recognize all of her efforts on wildlife rehabilitation.
Is there a second to that motion? Motion been seconded. Any objection? Seeing none, show it as approved. Commissioner Minor, would you also do me the honor of asking for a proclamation recognizing United Way for its 80 years on February 11th?
Yes, of course. So moved.
Is there a second to that? Motion has been seconded by Commissioner Welch. Any objection? Seeing none, show it as approved. And while I'm there, Commissioner Minor also, since you have the floor, the new Veterans Hall of Fame recipients were given their awards in January. Would you ask for a proclamation recognizing those 2 recipients?
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to. So moved.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Welch. Any objection? Seeing none, show it as approved. Commissioner Proctor, you have the floor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, yesterday we had a great meeting, a retreat. I omitted bringing one matter to your attention. I'd like to ask our board to please permit our staff to make an assessment, a review of our budgets that we have and the adequacy of those. I was just counting here our travel schedule. This year we have a NACO meeting in February. We have ARNA flights, and all of these that are scheduled in our public notice schedule are open to us to attend. Meetings of the National Organization of Black County Officials, the FACT meeting in Orange County, Orlando, June. We're going out to Texas to the NACO National Conference, and we have 10 meetings. The Chamber of Commerce over in Amelia Island, We've got Seminole County FACT meeting, the ICMA Congressional Black Caucus meeting in September, both three, and a FACT meeting down in Hillsborough County. I'm asking that while this year I likely won't partake of many meetings and whatnot, but if you look at the budgeting aspect for our offices and what we've been able to use to go to these meetings, I just, for instance, tried to thinking I might be good enough to go to the Texas meeting, and I want y'all to make some phone calls about how much that costs. Our budget's a little inadequate to what we have before us versus when we first adopted it. And I just want for our staff to get a chance to review that we're adequate. Yesterday we heard medical staff tell us that their reimbursement for per patient visits is slipped way down. We've heard the cost of everything, and it also likewise pinches upon what we try to do. And if you're comfortable, I am, I would love for our staff to make an assessment of what would be an adequate amount given today's transportation, housing, food, conference registrations at $700 with some of these. It's just amazing. Things have gone up. That's my first request, that we ask staff to look at that for us.
Thanks, sir. Mr. Administrator.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to underscore what Commissioner Proctor said, and in terms of the timing for your budget, this is just the right time to provide that direction to staff, because that item normally comes to the board in March, and so with that direction, we can bring you back some options at that time.
All right, motion been made by Commissioner Proctor. Would this be a budget discussion item?
Yeah, we'll bring it
Mr.
back.
Administrator, I don't need a motion for that. Is that just direction from us?
Otherwise, it would be coming to you with the normal amount, the historical amount. This would give us the direction to provide options to you at that time.
All right, motion been made for budget discussion item on increased travel budgets for commissioners when it comes to conferences and other approved travel. Is there a second to that? Seconded by Commissioner Cummings. Any objection? Show it as passed unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Administrator, for making that clear for me. Commissioner Proctor.
Thank you. And yesterday, I recognized that our annual chamber retreat is this year will be August the 18th through the 20th in Amelia Island. And I propose that on the 200th year anniversary of our county, that we might do, that chamber might consider a 200th year boat ride, cruise. And, you know, if it takes 2 or 3 boats, everybody want to go, I'm going to take 3, 4, 7 boats, whatever it takes. But I think that we should do something special and encourage that for our chamber's leadership to do something different for the 200. I also mentioned on yesterday a number. I serve at the Pleasure View on the Tourist Development Council, and some of the things I lifted up for 200, I will be bringing forward to the council for their consideration and adoption as well. Commissioners, you all have heard some of the angst in our community with respect to African American history. On tomorrow, a rally has been scheduled. I'm not sure if the weather will cooperate, but there's grave concern about the tone and the tenor of leadership's voice from the highest spaces in our state being hostile to the teaching of African American history. Well, frankly, I'm against the College Board's curricula. I think it's trash. It's not African American history. It is ideology. It ain't African. I've taught African American history. I've structured syllabuses for African American history. I am African American history. And talking about queer and feminism and all of that for the struggle for freedom, equality, and justice has not been no tension with queerness and feminist thought at all. So in light of the brouhaha and things that are circulating, I'd like to recognize with proclamation for Black History Month in our meeting in February that we recognize Ms. Altamise Barnes for being a great custodian of local history, and to recognize Dr. Muriel Dawson of the FAMU Black Archives, who has been a great custodian of African American history. And I think that in the discussion, we as policymakers in the space of which we serve and have home rule, we must be vigilant. Frederick Douglass said that the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. And we have to be vigilant to state that history, all of it, ought to be carved and looked at correctly. And therefore, I ask this board for resolutions recognizing the outstanding work over the years of Altamise Barnes as an African-American custodian of history, and Muriel Dawson as a cultural custodian of history.
Two proclamations have been requested by Commissioner Proctor, one for Altamise Barnes and the other for Commissioner Proctor? Muriel Dawson.
Yes.
Any objection? Show it as approved. That was seconded by Vice Chair Cummings. Anything else, Commissioner Proctor?
Yes, sir. And congratulations to Shinkton Lammy for winning Mrs. Stanley Sims Outstanding Award of Public Service.
He was an honorable mention. Vince won.
Oh, Vince won. Oh, absolutely. Congratulations to all and to all. A good night. Thank you.
Anything else?
Class of 40, we're glad to see you. I see my dear and good friend Michelle Mitchum in the house, and we appreciate all of what you're going to be doing to contribute to our legacy of, you say 36 was the best class? Yes, sir. That was the best? Well, the valedictorian of class 36 was the best one. We're going to keep an eye, and we need your help with your classmate. Make sure that he's tight and right. Thank you all so much. Mr. Chairman, you're a good man. Great meeting. Thank you, commissioners. Look forward to seeing you all at 6.
All right, it is 5:15. We will be back in here at 6 o'clock for public hearing.